All right, traders, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be talking about clean energy stocks in this video. Now, this is like Plug, Fuel Cell, ChargePoint, Jinko Solar. There's tons of these clean energies out there, right? But the big ones, Plug, Fuel Cell, some of the other ones like that. Now, beginning of the year, you know I was a huge fan of these guys, and I still am. They have huge potential for runs. They make really crazy runs if you're on options, things like that. But this is something that is concerning when it comes to the infrastructure bill, because I've been stating that the time to get into these was going to be near the end of September, because infrastructure bill most likely was going to come back to the House around that time. They were going to start talking about it once again. Now they're talking about it. And now you're getting some negative news when it comes out to clean electricity specifically. Now, when we come and look at this might not really affect ChargePoint or some of the charging stations for EV, but when it comes to Plug Power, Fuel Cell, some of those, these possibly will be affected. Now, I just want this to be stated. This is just an opinion, and I'm going to go into the charts here in a second as well. Now, I'm going to go to just the big spots and highlight focal points that I want to look at. This link will be down below. It's a very quick, easy read. It's not super long, anything like that. This is Joe Manchin. He is in charge of coal producing state, and this is kind of the people that are going to be voting on this. Now, I don't know how big of an impact him in particular is going to have, but it kind of addresses the thesis around this as well. Now, this is the part that was concerning me. Other Democrats are framing climate measures for the rest of the package, including tax credits for electric vehicles and making buildings more efficient, energy efficient, with hopes that clean electricity demonstration program will not be a part of the bill, according to two other people. So from my understanding, it's not regarding the EV, it's more regarding the buildings more efficiently using clean energy, something like Plug Power, Fuel Cell, things like that. This can go even more deeper, but I'm just looking at the surface level right now because Plug was one of those big names that I've always been looking at, as well as Fuel Cell. Now, Senator Manchin has clearly expressed his concern about using taxpayer dollars to pay private companies to do the same things that they're already doing. I don't really think he's concerned about taxpayers. He's more concerned about getting reelected in his coal-producing state, because that's what's going to get him reelected. He continues to support, and he's going to use some very political terms here, he continues to support the efforts to combat climate change, as long as it's not regarding coal and getting rid of those jobs, while protecting American energy independence and ensuring energy credibility. Now, before I go into the charts, I do want it to be said, look at something that Biden's already doing. He's already backtracking onto what's going on in Mexico and keeping them across the border and something like that. Now, I'll address that in another video, but this is totally different, obviously. It's a total different thing. This is kind of what Biden's campaign was built on, was clean energy and things like that. However, you know, you've seen Biden have to back down on certain things. So that's not to say that EV won't pass and then that the clean energy won't pass as far as Plug and Fuel Cell. It's just that things are up in the air and nothing is guaranteed. So that's what I really want people to understand from what I'm going on about right now. Now, we're going to look at a few of the charts. I'm just going to give you my opinion on what's going on. Now, going into Thursday, I'm sorry, I did think you were going to get a pretty nasty breakdown. You had this kind of bottom out right here. You popped up. I added some puts, and me being stupid, I did not get out of those puts when you started breaking down and got back above. I should have got out right there. This was kind of invalidated for the short term. You bounce back up, and you just keep coming down. You're making lower highs, and you're really making lower lows as well. This is going to break down, in my opinion, and at least gap fill down to $29.9, maybe $30. It might even go deeper. I would project that it goes deeper, probably down towards $28. But just with news like this can definitely start to snowball and affect what's going on here. Now, let's look at Fuel Cell. Fuel Cell has really been one of those really big winners if you can get into it when it's really moving. Anything at $5, $6 was just a gimme. We talked about this tons in Discord. This chart looks pretty outstanding, and people are saying cup and handles and all this crazy crap. But in my opinion, what you need to see, you got to see it here. You need to get above these levels, and you're just topping out and finding these same triple tops. So if you're looking at, you know, a swing or a leap or anything like that, yes, maybe. But I think you obviously have to expect some downside. Fuel Cell, I think you're going to get a $7 retest, maybe a little bit deeper. Now, I'm not telling anyone to short these stocks or anything like that. I'm really just showing you my opinion on these, just so possibly you might not get into a stupid position. Obviously, do your own DD, not financial advice. But looking at charge point, this is an EV play. It's also below the monthly, but in my opinion, it doesn't look as bearish as something like fuel cell and then plug power as well. These look, in my opinion, a lot more bearish. Going back to charge point, look, I mean, you're still below the monthly. It's not getting as much love as it was getting before. You already had like a week and a half run up. Be careful. That's just my viewpoint on these clean energy stocks. And I see them floating all over Twitter right now. And in my opinion, these aren't the low cap plays like CEI or BBIG where you can just keep moving, right? You're going to need some big buyers as well. So in my opinion, plug power, I think this thing is coming down. If I'm looking at puts, plug is the one that I want to play puts on. Fuel cell, it's getting a lot of love from Twitter right now. Everyone's talking about it. I see it literally all over the place. So I'd be more careful there. But plug power, in my opinion, is going to be coming down. And if that happens, most likely fuel cell and some of these other clean energy plays follow as well. So just watch out for the sector, more of a warning. All right, so I kind of struggled with what exactly and how exactly I did want to attack this topic because I know I might get some negative feedback. However, I just want people to be on guard when it comes to clean energy right now. I have been a really big advocate for the infrastructure bill boosting the power and the stock price of most of these clean energy stocks, but now you're kind of seeing that Biden may not get his way and the Democratic Party may not get totally what they want. And I think right now it's just about them getting a win, especially with his approval ratings dropping right now. And I'm not being political here on the channel, but you have to take into account that the people in charge ultimately, their goal is to get reelected. Their goal is to stay in power. And they're going to do anything that it takes and kind of anything to make their agenda look as popular as possible. So I think that they could possibly split the difference here and go the EV route and leave kind of some of the clean energy for, down the road. I don't really know what's going to happen. I'm just sharing my concern with this specific sector going into the next month. I do see some downside in the coming days. That's just my opinion. Could you pop up? Yes, 100%. I got to make that clear. Nothing is guaranteed 100% here, especially on the channel. You need to do your own DD, do your own research, everything like that. But right now with the market, there's a lot of uncertainty, and this does tend to pull the market down. However, what I'm going to say right now is clean energy, it looks shaky right now. That's my opinion. But as always, like, subscribe, do what you got to do. The Discord link is down below. The Twitter's down below for constant updates on the market, things that I'm looking at. And you know what I'm going to say? We're in the market.
Lately, I've been feeling brainwashed, like my soul rubbing against the grain.